used to have libraries in Pakistan many years ago. And when we announced that we would be opening brand new libraries, we received an astonishing amount of really positive feedback from far and wide, right across the country. We were quite humbled about that feedback, but what it told us is that actually we were on to the right thing here. And for us, I think this is the depth of that feeling, the depth of warmth and reminiscence and appreciation of what the libraries used to do have told us that actually this illustrates that there's a clear demand for this for the future as well. I believe this library provides a clear statement of the British Council's commitment to working in Pakistan, and it helps us to try and meet all over every province, every area, through our work in exams, through our work in arts, through our work in the society areas, and our programme works more generally. We aim to engage millions of Pakistanis every year, and this library helps us to do that better than what we could do before. I'm really pleased to announce that not only are we opening this library here, we're also opening a new library in Karachi after Ramadan. And both libraries, with their physical presence, will be complemented with a new digital offer, because essentially the physical building is just the start. We're really keen to get more Pakistanis involved, the Pakistanis that don't live in Lahore, the Pakistanis that don't live in Karachi, and through our nationwide digital library offer, we aim to reach out to more people through that. What's really important is that it's another avenue to give people access to world-class UK content, whether it's education work, whether it's something fun like a movie. Really important for us in terms of our mission, but also it's about us sharing how we do it. And I'm really pleased, very pleased, that conversations with the government of Punjab have confirmed that we will also support other efforts with digital library outreach work in Punjab as well. So it's not about us doing it ourselves, it's about us working with others to also do the similar. We will use these libraries to complement and improve our existing cultural relations work in Pakistan. These libraries will introduce a fantastic program of events, which will mean that it will be more than books, it's more than a library. For us, it's a space where people can come together, share those ideas, get involved and get engaged. Of course, something like this couldn't happen without the support of many, many people, and there's too many people to thank. But I would like to especially draw attention to the contribution of the role of the government of Punjab, the role of the federal government, with their ongoing, absolutely fantastic support for the work that we do in Pakistan. We're really fortunate to have such an amazing array of partners, many of which are in this room today. And whether that's education institutions, arts institutions, people from civil society, we can only do what we try to do through you. So from that, humbly, I'd like to say thank you. Again, for everybody, we're grateful for your support. I would like to become a bit more internally focused now and draw attention to Kevin, Maria, Laura in London, Aruj, and all of the library team that have worked so hard to get this to where it is today. It would be fair to say, Kevin, you've got a few more grey hairs in the last few weeks than what you had when you came to Pakistan. It's very true. But essentially, it's really important that I draw reference to one person who unfortunately cannot be here. And this is the person who deserves the most enormous credit, and that is the former British Council Director, Peter Upton. Peter has just retired from the British Council and returned to the UK after spending 4 years in Pakistan. This library, this digital offer, and this renewed confidence that we have to try and do this kind of thing all stems from Peter's vision of what 21st century international cultural relations could and should look like in Pakistan. Now, I know Peter can't hear us clap, but I would like to say, everybody, please put your hands together for Peter Upton. The hard work really starts from tomorrow. We'll have the party today, there's a band on later, it's going to be fun. But really, it's about us now meeting our commitments that we've made to the people of Pakistan about reaching out, engaging, and providing those opportunities for people to get involved in what we really do believe is going to be something special. Once again, I'd just like to say to everybody, thank you ever so much for coming, taking time out of your day. When you get a chance, please go into the library, have a look, have a play, give us your feedback, because ultimately it's not our library, it's your library, and your library has got to be something that you want to come to, that your friends want to come to, that your kids want to come to. So you have to tell us where we're getting it wrong, we'll put it right, and tell us where we're getting it right, so that then Kevin can get a pat on the back. Really important, guys, that you tell us how it is for you today, because it's about us learning to make this better. Finally, I just want to say, before I say thank you, we're going to see a short movie in a moment which just shows what the library is about. And then after that, Kevin will introduce our next speaker. For all of you, I'd just like to say it's humbling to see you all here. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you in our new libraries around Pakistan. And with that, please can you roll the VT?
And the tall ceilings and the fans, there always used to be this quiet, kind of magical feeling, and I would always wonder what book I would walk away with. And I was very sad when the British Council library stopped, and I always felt that it was a part of my childhood I would want to have again. And I'm so excited to hear that now my girls who are growing up in the city will have access to the same adventures, to the same world, to the same magic that I did once British Council reopens its library.
There's a huge amount of excitement around the reopening of the British Council libraries in Pakistan. Sadly, we had to close them down about 14 years ago for security reasons, but we feel that now is the right time to reopen them. And there will be a lot of people who wouldn't normally be interested in a library, but we're very, very confident that what we're offering through the new British Council library offer will appeal to a very, very wide spectrum of audiences.
It was pretty great, and honestly the environment is really cool, and it's quite feasible for group study. And the thing is that usually in universities we have to keep really quiet, and we have to abide by these rules, and it's all very formal. So in comparison to that, it's much cooler.
The first impression was really impressive, that this is something real of international standards. We don't have anything like this in Pakistan.
It's comfortable. It's a place where you can hang out with your friends, you can read books, you can play games, you can interact with people, and you can meet people from different backgrounds.
What I liked the most was that it's not a typical library. I can sit here, I can make noise, I can do my research or have fun with my friends. It does not restrict me in any way.
I think it's a very cool place to hang out. I'll definitely advise my friends to come here.
The libraries that we're reopening in Lahore and Karachi, they're going to be more than just
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege for me to be back here in Pakistan and back in Lahore on such a fabulous day, and to be here with the Honourable Ministers. Thank you for coming. His Excellency the High Commissioner here as well as all of you as our esteemed guests. There are many reasons why today is important. One of them is because we're reopening a library which had such a place in the heart of the people of Lahore and the people of the Punjab. And for that reason alone, I think today is important. And it's important because we're giving the same opportunity to have a place to learn to the next generation. When we go back in our history and go back to our very early days in the 30s and 40s, back then they talked a lot about the purpose of the British Council was to create a basis of knowledge and understanding between peoples, and to do this through the interchange of knowledge, ideas and discoveries. And what better place to do that than in a library like the one we have behind us here today. It's bringing knowledge from around the world, bringing ideas, bringing discoveries to those fantastic young Pakistanis who are going to shape the future of this great nation. I think you saw a little bit in the video. This is not a library like any other library. I travel a lot in my role, and I can honestly say I think the library which we're opening here today is truly world class. The connectivity which can take place and the access to resources, 10,000 research journals available to members of the British Council Library, and not only access it here from the premises, but through digital membership of the library, being able to access that from a mobile phone, from a smartphone, and what that can do for people, not only for people who can pop in here to the library in the city, but for around the whole state of Punjab and the whole of Pakistan. I think this is truly a revolution in how libraries in the world will be in the future. So as much as it's a privilege for us to bring something like this to Lahore, it will also be a privilege to learn how impactful this new type of library will be, because I'm sure that we will learn things which we can carry around the world with us as this model of next generation of library travels around the world. The library here itself will also be a cultural space, a meeting space, a place somebody can meet their friends, have a coffee, debate philosophy, or talk to their friends. So that convening idea is important, because when I listen to people who used the old library here beside us, often they said it was that place where they could exchange ideas, challenge each other and think, which was very valuable to it. So there'll also be a major program of activities based out of the library, and you'll see when you go in that we can reconfigure the library in a matter of minutes. So shelves can be moved, screens can be put in place, anything can be made to happen in what is a beautiful space. It's also a fantastic design. We were very conscious that we wanted to produce a library which was of Lahore and of the Punjab, and you'll see from the materials that have been used, whether it's the bricks on the floor or the ceiling, that I think we've lived true to that. But while it reflects many of the great traditions of the Punjab, it's also a very modern building with some of the best environmental techniques available there. So we're delighted to be able to say that the partnership we've had with Nayar Al-Adadi and Associates, fantastic architects, obviously, which you will be very familiar with, has again delivered something which I think is truly special, truly fitting for a city of the global status and calibre and history and importance of Lahore. So it's a huge privilege for me to join the ministers and the High Commissioner to be here. I hope when you go in later and have a look around, you'll be as impressed as certainly I was when I arrived this morning. It will be a joy for us to work with the ministry to take this idea of bringing this digital library knowledge alive and making it alive for the people of the Punjab more broadly, and we look forward to working with the ministers on that in the future. So thank you very much giving of your time. It's a huge privilege, as I say, to be here, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Minister. And I would now like to ask the Honourable Minister for Higher Education, Madame Zakia Shahnawaz, to share with her thoughts on this special day. Madame Zakia.
His Excellency, the British High Commissioner, CEO Kiran Devan, Country Director, Ben French, who's also my friend, and South Asia Director, Mark Stephen, and of course my friend Zach, sitting there from the United Nations Consulate, and all my friends. I think I can spot Sherazad, and lots of friends, and beautiful ladies and gentlemen of Lahore. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to say that the British Council has always been a center for the youth of Lahore. I remember when I was young, all the young people used to come to the British Council for advice, to the library, and to also go on exchange programs to get the admissions in UK. So it was a center which connected the East and the West, and especially England to Pakistan, because England was like a second home to Pakistanis. And we always felt at ease and comfort there because, you know, you have been in India for a long time. So that is the connected. So we get connected to you and we speak the language. English is our second language also. So this brings us closer. But what brings us more closer is what interest you are taking in the field of education. That has brought you more closer to Punjab, to our country and to the nation, because the priority the Chief Minister has is education, health, and of course taking care of the mother and child, clean drinking water. We have lots of priorities, but the best and the number one is education. I would like to say that here is Professor Nizam sitting here, who is the chairman for the High Commission. Through him and the British Council and you people, the Knowledge Park was designed, and hopefully it will take place soon, and it will get with the efforts of Rana Mashood. He was the minister before me who has done a lot in the field of education, and he worked day and night. And then what happened was, I think he had put in all that he could, and then he handed over to me, that I'm like a sister to him, and he's now in school education, primary education, which is more important than anything else, because we have to have the foundation of education very strong, and then comes the role of the colleges and the universities and the vice chancellors. But we have to see that the young child, the female child and the male child is educated in the rural areas, and he gets the best facilities and the best education there. The other thing I would like to say, the Chief Minister sends his greetings on this opening of the library. Unfortunately, he is not here today, but he sends his best wishes, his greetings to all of you, and he says that he is really appreciative of what the British Council is doing. But we also want the library, we want music, we want books, and we want the best of plays to come to Pakistan also, so that there's a revival of old Lahore, old days, when all of us used to be together at the Al-Hamrad's Council, at the British councils, and there used to be Shakespearean, players coming here, actors and doing their plays here. We've lost a lot, but we have to move forward and gain what we lost. And this is a big step moving forward. And I hope that His Excellency, the British High Commissioner, has a good stay in Pakistan, full of happy days, happy memories, and I hope you will be able to interact with the people of Punjab, and we can, exchange and come back to the same or a better level than we were in the early 60s, 70s, 80s, till all this happened, this terrorism thing came, and now we are having the fight against terrorism. Hopefully, we will come back to peace and into a city which will have everything which we used to have earlier. So once again, I want to thank you all for inviting me. I want to thank all the people sitting here today, especially coming here because I can see Nayyar Ali Dada sitting there with his glasses, if I'm not sure. Yes, it is Nayyar. So you see, the best of Lahore is here. Because the best of Lahore used to visit the British Council, the best of Lahore is here today in this hot weather to pay tribute, to recognize, and to thank you for what you have done for us. Thank you ever so much.
Those kind words, Madame Zakia. Before we have our final words of the afternoon, I would like to invite the British Council Director Libraries Pakistan, Maria Rehman, onto the stage. Maria.
Thank you everyone for coming here today to celebrate with us the launch of Lahore Library. Before today, however, we ran several competitions, social media campaigns to promote the library to our potential audience. One of them was Win a Library. We got 10 of Pakistan's brightest, most influential thinkers to recommend 10 books that they found personally transformative. Those 10 books created a personal library of 100 for one lucky winner. So that's Win a Library. How to enter? Well, across social media, we asked Pakistanis to post pictures of their personal libraries. And I'm going to queue up some pictures now. You can see some of the responses that we got. We made over 2 million impressions across Facebook and Twitter. So that's 2 million people in Pakistan who got to hear about what we're doing here today. The winner of Win a Library was Maimuna Abbas from Rawalpindi. She can't make it here today, but that's a picture of Maimuna with her personal library. Maimuna's parents are here, however, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them to come up to the podium, and I'm going to hand them one of her personal library collection, the complete works of William Shakespeare. Thank you for coming here. Is that the book to you? We'll just take the pictures. Over to you, Kevin.
And that was just one of the 100 books that our winner has won. The other 99 are actually on the display as you came in through the entrance. Okay, I would now like to ask British High Commissioner to Pakistan, Tom Drew, to come and share with us his thoughts on this special occasion. Tom.
Ladies and gentlemen, actually I don't think I'm going to single out anyone, because as the Minister said, the best of Lahore is here. So ladies and gentlemen, the best of Lahore, thank you for coming. In the tradition of all last speakers in a hot room like this, I will keep it short. Some of that is going to be easy. I don't need to talk about the library speaks for itself. I will, though, add a couple of thank yous. Firstly, I should say thank you to the council staff, the wider team, and of course, Sir Kieran for coming. They've done a fantastic job. Secondly, on behalf of the British government, a particular thank you to the government of Punjab, to
the ministers here, and of course the Chief Minister, all of whom have been great friends to the UK. And it really is quite a partnership, a very unusual partnership, and certainly different to anything I've come across in Pakistan. But most importantly, what I wanted to do this afternoon is say a few words to put the library in the context of the UK's wider relationship with Pakistan. You don't need the British High Commissioner to tell you about the importance of this relationship, whether a history or diaspora links. And as some of you may have heard me say before, we're lucky enough to have the proof. It's not just the High Commissioner saying this is an important relationship, as all High Commissioners do. The library is part of that. The fact we have the second biggest diplomatic mission of ours anywhere in the world in Pakistan is part of that. The fact that Britain's biggest development program anywhere in the world is in Pakistan is part of that. And that relationship is multifaceted. It ranges from security through to business. But if I had to summarize most of what the British government is about here in the sixth biggest country in the world, is doing our little bit to help Pakistan unleash its huge potential. And in this fast-growing country, where I think 57% of the population is under the age of 23, that potential is Pakistan's youth. And that's why so much of our work, as the ministers have both said, is around education. Why actually the biggest part of that biggest development program anywhere in the world is our work on education in Pakistan. And why, frankly, we've opened this library as well. A final point, I've given, I suppose, the official reasons for why I'm so pleased to be here. But actually, I have to confess that there's a really sort of nice reason on top of all the rationalization as well. And that's encapsulated by the sort of things we heard Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy say on, or we heard the minister say. And that's the number of my Pakistani friends who said to me how pleased they are because they were here when they were children, they were brought here by their parents, they were introduced to Enid Blyton here, and even some of them, I have to say, have told me they met their future wives or husbands here. I'm not sure that's part of the advertisements, but anyway, that seems to be true. Anyway, on that note, I'll just say I'm really pleased that this is happening, genuinely pleased it's happening. Thank you all for coming. Thank you everyone here for making it happen, from the British Council side, from the Pakistani government side, from the Punjab government side. Thank you all very much.